We'll make
Oh my god!
Spam Vive
Guns,
Emperor!
make ready.
Make ready, face the Emperor. Face him, control eyes on the Emperor.
Make ready!
Minto, wake up.
Once he halts in front of you, chant Vive l'Emperor.
Mintu!
Minto.
Minto's not in the voice chat.
Okay, he's just doing what everyone's doing.
Distinguish or die. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, apparently you can't talk.
He's gonna go silent.
Halt. Eddie, shoulder arm.
Shoulder arms.
Center face.
And face.
Order arms.
Center face.
Order arms H.
Okay, can someone tell Hollow to come in the voice chat now?
He will, just wait.
Yeah, he's doing his speech in the voice chat, so he's going to be joining in.
What will happen? We'll have a very long speech, and then we'll parade fire.
Also, guys, when Hollow is making his speech, nobody should speak. Okay, just listen or just mute yourself.
I will.
Thanks, Vanity.
You do. Guys, whoever's presenting.
That special kid.
And
He's
order arms.
shooting, but he's on our team.
That's special kid.
Yeah.
Homin, Infa.
Wait, I've got a good...
Infa, wake up. Infa.
Order
No, you're
arms
not. You're
people.
not special.
Alright, fine.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go.
Jealous kid, come here.
There we go, that's
special
better.
kid, come here. Be special.
There we go, that's
Follow us
better.
joining.
Ah, TT mode.
Oh, I love this.
Everyone jump if you're autism. Good job. Good job, everyone.
The cow
Don't
goes.
jump.
Thank you.
Look, you shut mouth and everything is cool, okay?
Okay, is everyone who is in Spanish farmlands already in the VC? If not, try to tell
Audit
that
tournament.
This means that we're all new to the party.
Haha, you're gay. Wait for Hollow to come. Ooh woo.
Alrighty. Alright, thank you all for coming. As I'm sure you're all aware, today marks the 3rd anniversary of TFE, which meant we started this group back in 2016, which seems like a ridiculously long time ago. And so obviously I want to start by thanking all of you for turning up to all the events before this and all the events before that, because this has been a hell of a roller coaster for everyone. In a very good way. So, this group has been my making, and it honestly has changed my life, as sappy as it sounds, for the better. And I've grown up from an opportunistic teenager to at least what my mum would consider a man. It's taught me some valuable skills, and more importantly, given me some invaluable memories that will stay with me for years to come, and I hope it's been the same for all of you. I've never been too public about this before, but in November my father passed away. While he was in hospital, he knew it was his time, but my siblings and I at this point were none the wiser. One of the very last things we talked about was TFE. I showed him all the largest rallies up to that point, and at the time I didn't know he was going to pass away in under a month, and I didn't know that when he told me he was proud of me for leading TFE through all of this, and happy to see what we, as a group, had completed, it would be one of the last things he'd ever say to me. Again, I've never really openly said this before, but since he's passed away, I've decided to dedicate the group and its success to my father. He's responsible for many of the decisions I've made, and was great with advice on the more behind-the-scenes decision that I needed to make. It might only be a game, and a kid's game at that, but this is something so much more that we've created. It's a community, and as much as we have our quarrels and bickering, it's ridiculously strong-willed and determined. I know, just looking at you, that we will not give in until we have given it our all. And even then, we'll push on further. TFE may be made up of mortal men, but TFE itself is an immortal concept that will stay, at least with me, forever. In the months to come, a multitude of things may change, but the old, venerable TFE will stand up from its knees and immortalize itself in the minds of both friend and foe. TFE will have its time, and together we will grow this unbreakable foundation upwards, and we will push onwards to higher goals with unrelenting determination, unstoppable expertise, and unflinching courage. We've already proven ourselves to be a force to be reckoned with, and we will do so over and over again. We will show the era and all who watch that TFE is more than a group. We will show them that TFE is the beating heart of our community and the driving force behind our success. We do not go onwards for ourselves, we go onwards for each other. I want you all to know that without your continued efforts and loyalty, this would simply not be the case. We would not be gathered here celebrating the 3rd anniversary of TFE. This is only made possible by you. As cliché as this sounds, it's very true in this case. There's nothing I could have done to get TFE to this place, and I couldn't have done it with different people. While many could look and see me as a great and influential leader, in reality, I'm simply the one lucky enough to find you all and bring you all together. You are the great ones. And this is not a celebration of the leader, this is a celebration of the mighty soldiers, of the Empire, and the celebration of our continued efforts. Thank you so much for putting us where we stand today. It has truly changed my life, and I will be forever grateful to each and every one of you. Long live TFE. Now, if any officers have something to say, they can unmute themselves and say that now. Otherwise, I have one from Mamo. Mamo, you able to read yours out?
2 years ago, I was a normal soldier like many of you guys. I thought, and I still do, that staying in this group was more than just a plain activity, but a duty. Therefore, I sacrificed my early night sleeps, some studying time, and also other gatherings for this group. I, of course, don't encourage you to do the same, since you'll be a little addicted to the group like I am now, apparently. But that's not a bad thing either, in my opinion. I enjoy staying here because I was treated like a part of the guys. We were a happy few at that time. We were a band of brothers. Now, this bond has grown with the veterans and newcomers that have showed up to fight not only TFB, but also because they are having fun in doing so, and not thinking of it as a burden. We have stood the test of time for 3 years now, with our Emperor leading us with the group's flag, like Napoleon at our cold bridge, and despite all the struggles he and we went through, we still stayed strong. And therefore, we have continued and will still continue to fight for the sake of the man who is carrying that flag. Continue to fight for our comrades whose bonds we formed ever since the foundation of this group. But most importantly, we will continue to fight for the group that brought us all together. The group that has given us hope in our darkest hour. The group that we will stay true to and love. And therefore, mon empereur, I say this to you from all of our hearts. Vive l'empereur and vive la France.
Thank you, Mamo.
That's
Do any other officers have a speech to make?
Yeah, I just want to say a quick few words. So the past, 2 years or year or so, I don't know, I think it's 2 years I've been in this group, I've really had a great time with everyone here. Even if I barely know you, I'd probably get to know you sometime soon. I don't know, just going to these rallies and events every weekend have really made my life so much better. I just want to say that. Yeah, thanks everyone.
All right, and if the officers have, I'll just double check the officers have no more announcements to make.
Nikolai did say he wanted to say something. Oh wait, what about the NCOs? Do the NCOs also
Yeah.
want to say something?
We'll move on to the NCOs now. If any NCOs want to say something, feel free to. You don't need to have a full speech prepared.
Cody, do you want to say something?
And finally, since it's TFE and not just the officers, if any rankers want to say something, you can feel free to come and stand up in front of everyone and type it, or you can ask to be unmuted. Just ping someone in Army General.
Next thing you know, Fazano's gonna make a speech.
Yeah. Right, so... Oh, cut that. Right, Cutler, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay. Since October when I joined, about a year and a bit ago, I had no clue whatsoever about anything to do with Napoleon. It was, but just this community, this whole brotherhood of just. I don't know, but it's just been an amazing ride, and I hope it goes on for as long as it can. Thank you.
Thank you, Cutler. Does anybody else have any words, or...
Pop, Neo, you guys want to say something?
Junker, you can say whatever you want now.
Okay, so Tiff is having /A dab.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, shut
very
up.
Nice Ben.
Alright,
So-
and... Yeah, if anybody would like to have anything posted into the army announcements, you can DM me that in a bit if you'd like time to say something. Otherwise, thank you all very much for coming and celebrating the existence of TFE for a third consecutive year. We've not shut down this group at all in that time, and we won't at all in the time to come. This is going to keep going for as long as it goes. And until we rally 0 people, well, as far as I'm concerned, I will keep hosting events. Because this is more than a group, and it's something we need to keep alive. But yeah, so, thank you all for coming. I don't want to keep this too formal. Because that's not what TFE is about anyway. But yes, if any of you have anything to say that you would like posted in Army General, feel free to, posted in the Army announcement, sorry. Just DM me that and I'll forward it on. Otherwise, everybody, vive la France. On 3, 2, 1.
Vive la France!
Vive.
Vive la France! Vive la France! Vive la France!
And
Vive la France!
that will go in Army. But, since I have nothing more to say, and none of you do, I will dismiss you now. Thank you very much for coming. I don't want to keep this too long. I think we'll be hosting an event later today, I'm not entirely sure, but we should be.
Vive l'empereur!
So, thank you all very much for coming, and you're all dismissed.
Vive l'empereur! Vive l'empereur! Vive l'empereur! Vive l'empereur! Vive